How old is Jimom on Moonshiners, and is he still alive? Fans of Moonshiners are wondering where the salty, and tell it like it is, star Jimom is these days. Along with the needed subtitles, Jimom began appearing on the Discovery series about America's rural distillers in Season 2 and was featured up until Season 6. He has been hard to find on the show since. Fans are curious as to his whereabouts, but rest assured that this Appalachian Yoda, whose fondness for knocking back the rye and loving on the women, sometimes two at a time, is still around at the age of 78. People are concerned if he's passed away or has wound up in jail. Since Jimom is a bit of a Luddite and eschews the socials, we found the old-timer selling some fancy unaged rye on a website. According to his unofficial fan page, this elder Tennessee moonshiner and country singer is alive and living in North Carolina. Get updates on the latest posts and more from monsters and critics straight to your inbox. By submitting your information, you agree to our T and CS and privacy policy. Jimom achieved his fame from doing several interviews, getting some roles in odd movies, and appearing in Matt Stillwell's music video Shine in 2009. Jimom later found fame with Discovery and the series Moonshiners. Jimom's way with words and lack of guile have earned him legions of fans. In the video above, he describes an unlikely Appalachian threesome encounter thanks to drinking the moonshine. Woman and booze. Ain't never been nothing that matches like that together. Lord have mercy. She starts getting prettier. You do that's what she says. So you end up with a ball? And well, the last my mind, I said you're a sweet nothing woman better get hitched up. Course that was wine I talking that time now I woke up with them I remember. I woke up there was two in the tent. One time we did a big party, and when I woke up I was between two women. She weighed 400 pounds, had a big leather pocketbook, and this other one woman, I didn't know either one of them. I said I'm going. In the clip we make out that Jimom switched to drinking Scotch whiskey, after he wound up in a Tennessee tryst with mystery women. This season of Moonshiners, outlaw turned legal moonshiner, Tim Smith, is working hard to get his legal brand established. This season, Tim's double rye recipe that his former partner Tickle created from adding too much rye to a test batch of whiskey is taking off. Also, Mark Ramsey and his partner Digger are creating more small batch craft liquors. Former professional motocross racer turned stock car driver, trophy hunter, and moonshiner, Josh, is taking his mobile still hidden inside his race car trailer around. Fourth-generation moonshiner, Patty is bringing her distilling operation to Louisiana with her husband, Dallas, and father David. And Jimom's reputation as the king of the Moonshiners hangs over the entire cast, who all have great anecdotes about him to share. Throughout the season, these moonshiners must support each other and come together to keep their traditional way of life alive. Moonshiners airs Wednesdays on Discovery. How old is Jimom on Moonshiners, and is he still alive? Jimom Hedrick is one of the standout stars of the popular reality TV show Moonshiners, which airs on the Discovery Channel. Since the show first aired in 2011, it has captivated audiences with its behind-the-scenes look at the secretive world of moonshining. While the show is centered on a group of modern-day moonshiners in the Appalachian region, Jimom's character has emerged as one of the most beloved and fascinating figures. He's known for his traditional approach to making moonshine, his humorous, down-to-earth personality, and his deep connection to the culture and history of Appalachian moonshining. But beyond his role on the show, many fans wonder, how old is Jimom, and is he still alive today? The life and legacy of Jimom Hedrick was born on July 14, 1946, in the rural Appalachian region of North Carolina. Growing up in the mountains, Jim Tom was exposed to the art of moonshining at a young age. His family, like many others in the Appalachian area, had been involved in the tradition of making homemade liquor for generations. It's important to remember that moonshining in the Appalachian region wasn't just a way to make money. It was an integral part of the culture and survival for many families, especially in the earlier parts of the 20th century when jobs and other economic opportunities were scarce. From an early age, Jim Tom learned the craft of moonshining from his father and other local moonshiners. His knowledge of the process, from the fermentation of mash to the distillation of spirits, was honed through years of hands-on experience, trial, and error. By the time he was a young man, Jim Tom had already developed a reputation for making some of the finest moonshine in the region. His mastery of the craft, along with his ability in the world of Appalachian moonshiners. It wasn't just the production of moonshine that shaped Jim Tom's life. It was also the inherent danger and secrecy that surrounded it. Making moonshine illegally, especially during the era when Jim Tom began his career, was not without risk. Federal agents, local law enforcement, and rival moonshiners were all constant threats to someone who worked in the moonshining business. But despite these dangers, Jim Tom persevered. He eventually became known not just for his moonshine, but for his resilience, charm, and wisdom. Jim Tom on Moonshiners in 2011. Jim Tom Hedrick became a part of the cast of Moonshiners, a reality show that aimed to showcase the lives of people who still make illegal moonshine in the modern-day Appalachian region. The show's premise was a mix of documentary-style filmmaking and reality television drama, featuring moonshiners who work both legally and illegally to produce spirits. Jim Tom's presence on the show quickly made him a fan favorite. His ability to blend humor with knowledge of the craft gave the show a unique charm. Whether he was talking about the best ingredients to use or reminiscing about moonshining days gone by, Jim Tom's presence brought a level of authenticity and heart to the show that many viewers appreciated. What made Jim Tom stand out, especially among the other moonshiners, was his traditional approach. He didn't rely on high-tech equipment or the latest distillation methods. Instead, Jim Tom preferred to use old-fashioned copper stills, natural ingredients, and time-honored techniques. For many fans of moonshiners, Jim Tom represented the true spirit of the moonshining tradition, a craft that had been passed down through generations and one that could never be truly replicated by modern methods. While Jim Tom was not always the center of the action, his appearances on the show were always memorable. His laid-back demeanor, his knack for storytelling, and his unshakable confidence made him one of the most likable characters on Moonshiners. Jim Tom's insights into the history of moonshining, as well as his personal stories, added a layer of depth to the show, making it feel like more than just a reality series about breaking the law. How old is Jim Tom? As of 2025, Jim Tom Hedrick is 78 years old. Born on July 14, 1946, Jim Tom has lived a life that spans almost 8 decades, and in that time, he has witnessed many changes in the world of moonshining and the world at large. Despite the passage of time, Jim Tom's love for the craft and his sense of humor remain intact, allowing him to continue his role on Moonshiners as one of the most entertaining and enduring figures on the show. For fans who have been following Jim Tom since the beginning of the series, it's fascinating to see how he's aged over the years. While he may have slowed down in certain ways, his passion for making moonshine has never wavered. Even in his late 70s, Jim Tom is still active in the moonshining world, offering advice to younger generations of distillers and occasionally participating in making moonshine for the show. Is Jim Tom Hedrick still alive? As of February 2025, Jim Tom Hedrick is indeed still alive. While there have been rumors and speculation about his health over the years, Jimom has remained a vibrant and active presence in the world of moonshining. His appearances on Moonshiners have continued, and he has remained a beloved figure among fans of the show. Jimom's health has been a topic of interest to many of his fans, especially given his age and the physically demanding nature of moonshining. Over the years, Jimom has had to contend with some health issues, but he has remained resilient and determined. His passion for the craft has kept him going, and his sense of humor and positive attitude have allowed him to continue living life on his terms. In fact, Jimom has often mentioned in interviews and on the show that he feels fortunate to still be able to make moonshine and live the life he loves. Despite the physical challenges that come with aging, he continues to find joy in the simple pleasures of life, whether it's crafting a batch of moonshine, sharing stories with friends, or enjoying the beauty of the Appalachian Mountains. Jimom's continued presence on Moonshiners also speaks to his enduring popularity with viewers. Fans have rallied around him, not only because of his moonshining expertise, but also because of his down-to-earth personality and the wisdom he imparts to those around him. Many fans view Jimom as a symbol of a disappearing way of life, and they treasure his role on the show as one of the last remaining connections to the old traditions of moonshining. The enduring appeal of Jimom. Part of Jimom's enduring appeal is his authenticity. In a world where so much of reality television is scripted or over the top, Jimom stands out because he is the real deal. He's not trying to be someone he's not.